And as I said, this is the last thing that those mining communities around Rustenburg need. Of course, if you look at the fact that this comes on the back of Lonmin also cutting jobs, it's not a pretty picture for those communities.
Good afternoon. Yes, it's not. And not just for the community, but for South Africa as well, because we know that most of the mine workers are coming from labor-sending provinces outside the Northwest provinces. And also the impact those job cuts are going to have on the health of the mining industry as a whole in South Africa is significant. So very difficult times, and arguably, although understandable given the changes in the global commodity demand, given the struggle that the platinum producers have been facing, as you said in your introduction, it is still something that is going to be felt many years later in the South African economy.
When you look at the fact, as you say, that the platinum price, for example, has just been dropping over the past few months, Impala Platinum saying that it might look to selling some of those shafts. Could that be an offset? Could we see some of those jobs being saved in that regard?
Yes, it could be, but we must be cognizant of the reality that whoever is going to buy those 5 new mines or shafts that Impala probably will sell might come up with a different plan altogether and might not absorb all the workers that are affected by these changes. And so it's a tough time, more so because this is not unique, by the way, to South Africa. Mining companies restructuring operations, they do so regularly, especially when the commodity demand and the super cycle or the super boom has ended. They are always going to restructure the operation, try to minimize costs. In the context of our country, often that translates to reducing the number of people employed, and unfortunately that affects directly the mine workers.
Now, you say there's not much that any one of these stakeholders can do to ease the situation, but we just have those unemployment numbers being released this week. 105,000 jobs lost in manufacturing, the total amount of unemployment rising at a rate of 27.2%. This adds to that figure, and of course you're now going to see more people out of jobs. Again, it brings us back to those communities where food is so hard to come by, and the very basics is just a pure struggle.
Yes, it's going to be very difficult, Devan, because we have known now for years that an average one job in the mining industry within a family supports more than 10 people and extended families. And when you look at the cross-cutting within those jobs, but also not those jobs, but other industries that are impacted by such restructuring, because it won't only be mining that company that's affected. Those who have been supplying services to it and goods to it are going to feel it, and sooner or later they too may have to reduce the number of people employed. So we are in a period, I think, for South Africa that we have an unemployment crisis. And I do wish the stimulus that the president was talking about was very detailed, or must come out and be very detailed as to how are they going to kickstart the economy, which sectors of the economy are going to need help. The mining industry at the moment, collectively, not just platinum, is in a dire situation.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. Mamokgethi Molopyane, mining consultant, talking to us there on the back of the latest planned job cuts by Impala Platinum.